There are many kinds of boners, right?
Yeah.
Low voice, I was in the crib when my balls dropped. Earthquake when they hit, bro, they split rocks. Now my girl's hotter than that summer asphalt. If she turn me down, God knows that it's her loss.
All right, everybody. What's happening? You listen to Shit Happens When You Party Naked. What's going on, ladies? Gentlemen, thank you for listening. My name is Jason. I am your host. I got my wife with me. What's up, wife? She's named Christina. How's it going?
Hi, hubby.
Hi, wife.
It's going good.
And for everybody wondering, that was not a beer that I just cracked. That was indeed a Diet Coke.
Which I would love some.
Oh, I'll pass it over to you. Yeah, let me pass this over to you. So, we are enjoying a Diet Coke, not a beverage. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, I want to make a few announcements. On August the 4th, we are attending the Summer Sizzler with a couple of the other Podcast NH podcasts, including our buddies Meter and Pepin at We Need to Talk. Also, our buddies Billy and Joe at Off Colored Discussions. We will be at the Summer Sizzler. That's on August the 4th. That is to benefit the Beards, Beers, and Battle Scars fundraiser that will be ending that day. We have a large foam giant check that we have printed out. Check out my social media to see the large foam check that we printed. We will be writing a check to one-up, literally $1 more than the single highest donation to the Beards, Beers, and Battle Scars fundraiser, because fuck all of y'all. Shit happens when you party naked. We going worldwide, motherfuckers. We do it real.
True that.
True that. So anybody who feels like getting in on that donation to the Beards, Beers, and Battle Scars event, I've been practicing that all week, by the way, after fucking it up last week. Beards, Beers, and Battle Scars. Jab, hook, duck, weave. You know what I mean? Beards, Beers, Battle Scars. Boom. I got it. Beards, Beers, Battle Scars. Anybody who wants to get down on the Beards, Beers, and Battle Scars fundraiser can navigate their web browsers over to vetscount.org. You will find details there. It is quite easy. If you are listening to this podcast, then you have the technological skills necessary to find that fundraiser. Speaking of off-colored discussions, I made an appearance on their podcast this week, so go check that out. That was a ton of fun. At the top of the show, I do want to wish a very, very happy birthday to our little buddy Bryce. What's up, Bryce?
Happy birthday,
little guy. I had always wondered if there was a gayer name out there than Lance. And then I met Bryce. So,
is he 21?
Oh, God, no. I think he's a little bit older than that. He is a baby, though.
I was just going off of his maturity level.
Oh, well, if you're going off his maturity level, he's fucking 11. Mm-hmm. When you hear this, your birthday will have been some days ago, but I hope it was a good day. I hope everybody was nice to you. I hope nobody called your name gay except for me. Sorry.
And I hope you had some birthday sex.
It's not a good birthday without. Mm-hmm. I think that's kind of a prereq for your birthday is that you better be getting some.
Get some.
Yeah, you better be getting some. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm sure he would do that for her. If it's her birthday, guess what? Mm-hmm. Just got to get down there. You know what I mean? Like, hey, it's her birthday. You know how to treat her right. You know, please your lady on her birthday. You know what I'm saying? If you don't please your lady on her birthday, then... on her birthday, then she going to find somebody who does. That's all I'm saying. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. She's going to find somebody who does give her that on her birthday. You know what I'm saying? So you got to get down on that. You know?
Yeah, which I feel like that's a good...
Got to munch that sauerkraut. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like that's a good, kind of good, what do you normally call that?
Like a general philosophy to live by? Oh.
No.
That's what we call a segue. Fertility updates for everybody who gives a shit about my splooge. There has been no semen analysis test done yet. I regret to inform you all. So the problem with the getting the semen test done is that there's only one nearby lab that accepts these samples. So it's not like I can just fucking drop this thing off wherever. I can't fucking run through the McDonald's drive-thru and fucking trade it for a Big Mac and fries, right? I can't just fucking drop it off wherever. So you know, the lab is only open during business hours, and you probably don't stop to think about it, but you might actually go years without ejaculating between the hours of 9 a.m. and 4 p.m. Monday through Friday, right? I mean, how often do you ejaculate during the workday? It's not frequent, at least for me. I got to take like a half day from work. I got to actually put in fucking PTO just to jack off in a fucking piece of sterile Tupperware. What the fuck?
Sterile.
So that's why I haven't done it yet. I got to fucking take a half. What am I going to tell my boss? What am I going to tell my boss? I'm going to tell my boss. What am I going to tell my boss? Your boss is going to be like, why are you leaving work early? Oh, nothing big. I just got to, I got to get home and I got to jack off into a piece of Tupperware.
And then you have 30 minutes to deliver it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's time sensitive.
It is time sensitive. So it's not like I can jack off in the thing and then save it till tomorrow and drop it off on the way to work. We got to get up. We got to jerk me off. We got to go into work late. I don't know.
Well, they are open at 7 though, right?
I think they are open fairly early. We could probably get it in before work, and we maybe should make a point of that this week, because the endocrinologist did call me and ask where the fuck my jizz was. Here's some of my cum. But they're calling me like, where's your jizz, dude?
Well, I think that makes sense. So they're the ones that gave you the referral.
Yeah, so they want me to drop off some jizz. Last time I did that, I was actually prosecuted. I spent a little time in jail for just dropping off my jizz in a cup. In hindsight, a playground was not the place for that. So I've learned. I've been rehabilitated. But apparently a lab is the place.
Appropriate.
Yeah, an elementary school playground, not the place to be flinging a cup of your own semen out the window of your moving car. So I have learned. Please let me be a lesson to everyone. Don't do that.
And what's funny is I think actually our boss would be supportive of the
It's just
time.
a weird conversation to have. Your mom is like already way too supportive. She's already way too supportive. She offered to give me fucking porn. I'm like, lady, look, it's not the fucking 60s anymore. I don't need a magazine. I got the fucking internet.
She did not.
You were there. She offered to give me a magazine. Remember? She's like, I can go get you I'll go get you some stuff if you need some stuff. Like you need a little inspiration. I can go find something for you. What do you like? What do you like? You like backdoor? You like it? What do you like? You like it in the ass? You like it? You want to like the full facial? What do you want? You want something classy, or you want like really dirty shit, full penetration, jizz everywhere, or do you want it like lace and classy shit? I was like, Joanne, this is a very weird conversation for me to be having with you.
Do you want it classy like your daughter?
Yeah, I'm sure she did not say that.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Were there any other updates in terms of...
No, that's pretty much just semen staying in my balls. That was more or less the update. You're listening to Shit Happens When You Party Naked.
This is Off Color Discussions. I am your host, Joe B. Sit with me, my man, Billy.
Good evening, sir.
If you like good conversation
And hearing about good beer.
you can check this out.
Is that the cat?
Yes, dude. Shut the fuck up.
I blame you for owning a cat, man.
Don't
You know
blame
cats
me.
are assholes. I am not shitting myself for charity.
They got PlayStation because they're bitches.
I took my pants off about an hour ago. In Germany, there's a word for this, like what you guys made here. It's called Gemütlich.
If you like what you heard, you can just find us on Instagram,
Facebook,
Twitter,
Spotify.
and at offcolordiscussions.blueberry.net, where you can see a link to all the beer that we have tried over the past,
8 months or so.
So,
We on all the socials.
all the socials. Check us out.
You're listening to Shit Happens When You Party Naked. Try saying that down low.
You're listening to Shit Happens When You Party Naked. That was terrible.
That was all right. That wasn't terrible. It wasn't terrible. It was okay.
I can't do it, Lau.
You just relax everything. Like let your throat relax and everything. You don't have to force it low.
So,
just let
like
your throat
I'm about
relax.
to give you head?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
relax?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not that you ever need to relax your throat for that. Come on. It's not like I'm hitting the back. Not with this little thing. It's not like I'm.
That's funny. You do hit the back, honey.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So you just say, You're listening to Shit Happens When You Party Naked. Oh, just sultry, not low, but like sultry, like.
You're listening to Shit Happens When You Party Naked.
You gotta say it a little bit louder, not like you're whispering, like, you're listening to Shit Happen. You gotta be like, you're listening. So it has to still be like little,
Okay.
you're listening.
Okay. You're listening to Shit Happens When You Party Naked.
That was pretty good. See, you just need a few takes, that's
Yeah.
all. Once you get it, you get it. You got it. Good. So, we just spent 2 fucking hours at Walmart. I wanted to maybe briefly unpack that ordeal so that we might prevent me from suffering PTSD from this fucking Walmart ordeal. Would you say Walmart is a place that we go very often?
Fuck no. Thank
Fuck
the fuck
no.
God no.
Yeah,
be
thank the
broke.
fuck God, no. Yeah, they got a lot of shit at Walmart. Let me ask you this. Of all the shit we just bought, how much of it do you think we actually needed?
That's a good question. I think 60%.
60%. So we bought
Probably.
40% of bullshit we didn't need.
Yeah, and I would say that's about how much we bought that was not on the list. Maybe
Yeah.
actually I think we bought
Yeah, that's-
higher. Maybe 50% was not on the list
If
because
you
that
wanna
list
go
was
by-
fucking small.
That list was fucking small. If you
I
want
was
to
like
go by the list, we bought 30% of what we bought was on the list.
Yeah.
70 was bullshit that we're like, oh, look, we need new bowls for our cat to eat out of.
But that is something we do need. I just happen to not think about it and put it on the list.
We need owl-shaped salt and pepper shakers. That's what I need.
That are fucking cute. And I mean, that was definitely a
It's fucking
splurge.
Walmart. That's how
Yeah.
that's how they get you.
You saw them though, and you were like, "Oh, those are really cute. You have my permission."
I wasn't.
That's what you
It
said.
didn't sound exactly like that. It sounded like put them in the cart. Let's keep moving.
No, you
Come
were
on,
like,
Tom.
"You have my permission." That's exactly what you said. You're like, "Oh, those are cute. You have my permission." Then you walked off.
We might remember that a little differently. I have a slightly different recollection of that.
Is your
event.
testosterone kind of fogging up your memory?
My testosterone,
Yeah.
all that testosterone that I got flowing around in me. Yeah.
Well, whatever is left.
So we
is-
did have that tested.
Whatever you have left is trying to reshape that memory to be a little bit more masculine because your estrogen must have been peaking at that time when you thought the owl salt and pepper shakers were cute.
All right, in fairness, those owl salt and pepper shakers are legitimately
They're
cute.
fucking cute.
Salt and pepper shakers. I
They
completely
are.
agree. They are. They are. In my defense. All that testosterone, a little bit of testosterone that
It
I have
must have
left
worn off.
It's swirling around my brain, not my balls.
Now it's worn off because now you're back to agreeing that they're cute.
They were cute. I'll agree with that.
Are your nipples leaking?
No, not that. No. Bring a baby in here and they will.
But they did need some new.
He needed some new
Kitty
dishes.
balls.
Yeah, he needed some new dishes to eat food out of, for
Yeah,
sure.
so
Because
we-
his old ones, we
didn't
don't
have
have enough. Yeah, so they would get dirty too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we wouldn't have a clean one for him. So.
Yeah. And he couldn't use the bowls. He doesn't use the bowls.
And that's
very
definitely
well.
not a lesson. That's not the world's way of saying wash your fucking dishes more. You know what I mean? It's not like the world saying, dog, don't let that shit pile up, man, maybe.
No, we live in first world. That means you don't have enough dishes.
No, we just let them pile up, and the
Yeah.
Guatemalan lady comes and cleans them.
Yeah, she's on strike.
We need to bring back that cleaning lady. We talked about
do.
that before. We need
We
that cleaning
do.
lady back.
But I was going to say, if we look at how much we just got for the cat, 45 out of the 200, that's almost a quarter we just spent on the cat.
Yeah, I think so. We spend a pretty good bit on this fucking cat.
It's fucking crazy.
This fucking cat. Can't wait till we have kids. We can spend thousands of dollars on them.
No shit.
But I'm going to sound, I think sometimes, at times I have been accused of being a little bit arrogant. And I don't deny someone accusing me of being a bit arrogant. I actually do think I am a little stuck up at times, and I do think I am a bit, I don't know, arrogant might be kind of strong because I don't think I'm mean, but I do, I am a little bit of a snob, and I will readily admit to that. So there is nothing that makes me feel good about my life than walking around a fucking Walmart for 2 hours, though. Let me tell you, nothing will make you feel superior as a motherfucker. Like, I feel bad when I get a 90 on a test because that's an A-. I'm not even thinking, you got a 90 on a test, dog. At least you got all your teeth in your fucking head. You go around a Walmart, you walk around a Walmart, and you will think, holy shit, I'm like one of 3 motherfuckers in this whole super Walmart that got all his teeth in his fucking head right now.
I mean, there's so many interesting folks that go there that aren't there like YouTube channels and all these different type of things about just straight about the people you see at Walmart.
There's a website called People of Walmart that is quite funny. It has like
It's crazy.
weird sightings of people who are like really dressed kind of crazy. They're wearing crazy stuff, or they're partially nude, but they're sort of like their buttholes hanging out, or you can see through their shorts or something. And it's always, I mean, it's never like, ooh, yeah, that's nice. It's always like, oh, God, why would that lady think that was a good thing to wear out in public and stuff? So.
The craziest one I've seen was, it was saying something along the lines of like a thong diaper. So it was this larger woman, and she was, pushing a cart. She was kind of bent over. Her shit was like up her ass, and it was kind of showing the cheeks a little bit, and then it looked like she was wearing a thong, and then she had like a you could see the it was either a pad or a Depends or something.
Let's make a baby now. I'm ready. Let's push pause on this bitch.
You felt it move.
Oh, it went from 6 to midnight, baby. Holy shit. I think I sprained something. It got hard so fast, man. Shit. I got like underwear burn on my penis. It got hard so fast. Holy fuck. I just got like an Indian rug burn on the tip of my cock and went whoosh, hard so damn fast. Holy shit. Tell me about that big old lady's Depends pad again, how it keeps the contents of her anus away from her underwear. It's the barrier between her poop and her panties. I want to hear all about that. Tell me about that. I'm just going to go get the lube, and I'm just going to start working it while you tell me about that. Ladies' panties. That is some nasty shit. Do you, like me, enjoy looking at what's in other people's carts at the Walmart and silently judging them?
That is a fabulous question. I fucking love judging people
Yeah,
at
me too.
Walmart.
Yeah.
or not even at Walmart, at any time you go grocery shopping. Absolutely love it.
Walmart just happens to be the best place for it, because I feel like everything there is just turned up a little bit higher than your usual supermarket. You can see people putting shitty food in their cart at a typical supermarket, but Walmart, it's like that's the place to go to see a 500-pound lady dragging a cart behind her motorized scooter that's like filled, overflowing with a pyramid of like ice cream. You know what I mean? Like that's the place. It's on steroids.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. It is absolutely insane what you see people's cart, and you've said it where you're never disappointed
Never.
where somebody who is
Never.
large, but that always makes me sad too, and then what it makes me sad is when you see the obese parent and then what's in their cart, and then you see the overweight obese kid.
Yeah.
And it's just a shit.
We touched on that before. The kid can't really help it, and they must eat what the parent feeds them because they don't. And that's a whole different thing. I mean, obviously that kind of gets me going from a compassion angle, but I'd like to focus really more on the us being superior and judging other people angle. At least for the time being, we can we can probably make a nice little segue into that, because I do want to talk some nutrition stuff coming up here in a minute as well, but.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It never disappoints, just like you said. It never disappoints. You never see this cart full of bullshit like that 48 pack of Pop-Tarts and bullshit cereal and waffles and corn dogs. You never look and see that cart. You never look and see that and then look up and it's like some dude who's like ripped washboard abs, some girl who's like 120 pounds, blonde. It's always you look up and you're like, oh yeah, that's looks about right. Yeah, this is about what I expected when I saw that you had like 3 8-packs of fucking blueberry muffins in your fucking car. This is never disappoints you.
100%. It's just when we're going grocery shopping, I mean, what we buy is so normal. It's just 100%. How we eat with a lot of vegetables and whole grains and,
a lot of natural foods, a lot of whole foods, less processed stuff.
Yeah, not a bunch of bullshit.
Yeah.
And that just seems totally normal. Then when I see other people's car, I'm like, wow. I'm like, some people just don't eat that way.
Yeah,
and that's their normal.
That is their normal.
And it doesn't seem odd to them.
We're almost like the weirdos at Walmart, right? Because I'll look at the person in front of me in the checkout line. I'll look at the person in the back of me in the checkout line. I'm in the middle, and I'm the only one who's got like legit fresh fruit and vegetables and stuff like that. Everybody else is like box of cereal, frozen box of frozen lasagna, pizza, Cheetos, Doritos, and I'm like, whoa, maybe they're silently judging me. Like, look at this little motherfucker. He gonna go home and make some bok choy. I don't even know how to spell bok choy. Fuck that little motherfucker. He thinks he's better than me because he's not eating Cheetos, and he's gonna go home and cook some fucking cabbage. He's gonna go home and cook some Chinese food.
Chinese food.
Some Chinese food. He's gonna go home and make himself some good, fresh Vietnamese spring rolls or some shit. I'm gonna go make a Hot Pocket. Fuck him. He think he better than me? Yeah, I think I'm better than you.
Or they think
Okay.
we're judging them.
Sometimes they do, but I am judging them, so it's fair, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
so
isn't
they're
it?
right.
Yeah, so they're completely right. So
And there is a strong correlation, not to, hopefully this isn't off the We're Superior kick, but
no, I feel like I got that out. I feel
Okay.
like, yeah,
Okay.
I feel like
okay, good.
good about that now. Yeah.
Okay. And I just interjected a little too early there. But there is a strong correlation between like income and, education and how people eat. So
Yeah.
I think Walmart does, people go there there's probably a higher percent that go there with a lower income, of course. I think other folks of other incomes go shop at Walmart too, but I think a larger majority is a lower income, low education. And so then they're going to buy less healthy foods.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I think the same goes for like tobacco use too, right? I remember reading a statistic that
think
said
so,
that
too.
college graduates smoked at I don't remember exactly what the difference in the percentiles was, but the difference was pretty stark among higher educated people. They use less tobacco,
Yeah.
and a smaller percentage of them use tobacco.
Yeah.
So.
I wonder about alcohol.
Yeah, I don't know. We're smart as fuck, and we used to drink like fish, so...
No, because I mean, I can see like two different use cases where maybe people lower SES and education money, they might drink if they might have higher rates of depression and hopelessness and those kind of things.
Yeah.
And then the people in the higher, jobs, incomes and stuff, they have high stress, high demand, high pressure. And it also might be a part of the lifestyle, taking out clients or this or that or whatever.
Yeah.
But I wonder which one's higher.
I don't know which one uses the more, but I definitely have the feeling that the people who shop at Walmart, besides you and me, because, that doesn't apply to us, right? I mean, yeah, we might have shopped at Walmart tonight, but we're not one of them. But the folks who are of the lower income brackets probably don't drink $100 bottles of Woodford Reserve,
right?
And we will drink a $100 bottle of Woodford Reserve from time to time on occasion. So it's probably what the people are drinking is a little bit different as well, depending on who you're talking about and like what they do for a living and what their max education level is and such. So
yeah, I agree with that. I was thinking that too. I'm sure the type of alcohol that is consumed is different.
And the thing about alcohol too is like that shit always does well. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, if you're having a rough week, you need a drink to take the edge off. If you just had a baby, you're gonna have a celebration. Or if you just aced every time I get a 4.0,
Let's go get an expensive bottle.
Yeah. But how do you feel in generally speaking, about
Hemorrhoids.
hemorrhoids? You remember that time we went to Walmart to get you that hemorrhoid cream, and I kept saying it was mine, and you were like, shut up. You remember that? We went to get the witch hazel wipes and the hemorrhoid cream, and I was like, it's cool, man. I just got hemorrhoids. This is for my ass. It's totally for my ass. It's not for her ass. It's for my ass. And you were like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck. I swear to God, I'll bite your dick off. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
I don't
you
know
remember
if
that?
I want this part on the podcast.
Okay. Hey, have you ever, let me ask you this before I segue into that nutritional shit. We need that on there, though. That was good. That was good stuff. At any rate.
If we add that we were getting it to reduce the puffiness under my eye.
Yeah.
Disclaimer.
Disclaimer.
I was buying the Preparation H because it allegedly reduces puffiness under your eyes.
Indeed. That's the story we'll go with.
No.
Okay. We'll decide what gets in and what doesn't. It's okay. We don't have to put that in. Have you ever been into a Walmart fucked up before?
Yeah.
How do you think that affected your general experience of Walmart going in fucked up?
Um,
And how fucked up were you? Like
alcohol.
Yeah, okay. So alcohol, cool. But I mean, how in terms of like maybe scale of 1 to 10? I mean, were you blackout drunk? Were you tipsy? Where were you on that scale, on that continuum?
I've probably been in on a couple of points of the continuum.
Okay. You've been in Walmart fucked up more than once.
I have.
Excellent. You're a pro.
Yeah. I would say I was just running in for something, so it wasn't too.
Preparation H?
No.
No. Okay.
Motherfucker.
All right. It was just a guess. All right.
Shitty guess.
That was a shitty pun.
So it wasn't anything interesting.
Okay. So.
How about you?
Thank you for asking me. Thank you, Christina.
You're welcome, Jason.
I have been inside a Walmart fucked up before, probably on more than one occasion, but there's one that stands out to me right now in my brain. And it was when I lived in Athens, Georgia. Shout out to the Bulldogs. I am a alumnus of University of Georgia. I love University of Georgia. And so I was living in Athens at the time, but it was after I'd graduated, I think, and I was working a shit-ass job in Athens before I moved back to Atlanta. And I was working a shit-ass job, so I drank a lot. You know, we would get together after work and we'd get shitty, and oftentimes we would stay up late watching movies and stuff, get shit-faced. So me and my buddy Chris, and I think maybe my buddy Brandon, there was like three of us, maybe four of us. We went into a Walmart. It was one of these 24-hour deals, and we went in at like 2 a.m. because they cut us off at the bar. I mean, the bar closed, and we wanted to go home and watch Grandma's Boy. Only I didn't own Grandma's Boy yet, so we went to a Walmart to buy Grandma's Boy so that we could put Grandma's Boy on and watch it. And so we're pretty shitty, like wandering around the Walmart, and we get split up. And so I grab Grandma's Boy, and I'm wandering back to the front to find my buddies, and I'm walking through the home goods section. And the home goods section was pretty sparsely populated at 2 a.m. And there's my buddy Chris standing in the aisle, pissing on the floor, pretending to be looking at an ironing board, pretending to be shopping around.
Up.
Yeah, he's just pissing right on the floor. I'm like, they've got public bathrooms in Walmart, dude. It's like 100 yards that way. He's like, yeah, fuck it. No, this is better. I want to piss on the floor. And he was a pretty crazy motherfucker when he drank.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so he pissed on the floor. I was like, God damn, we gotta get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like, ran the fuck out of there.
And didn't get caught?
No, we got the fuck out of there pretty quick, pretty hastily, and nobody got caught for that, thankfully. But
that's terrible. Somebody had to clean that up.
Somebody had to mop his back. You know, there's some Walmart employee like, why the fuck am I cleaning up piss?
Seriously,
it smells like asparagus at 2:30 in the goddamn morning on a Saturday night. What the fuck?
Shake my head.
Shake SMH, baby. That's how the internet kids say it. SMH.
I finally remembered that that's what SMH stands for.
I love you.
That took a while.
Yeah, I really did. It's funny, you'd be like flipping through Facebook and you'd be like, what does SMH mean? What does TBH mean? I'm like, to be honest.
To be honest, that one I haven't put to memory.
What does IMO mean in my opinion?
In my opinion.
There we go.
We could have like a
quiz.
Yeah, like a what is it called? Like
we're doing that.
Fire something.
Yeah, we'll do that. That'll be a good little segment. I know, but it'll be funny.
And then we should do one that's medical terminology because that one I should do well.
We'll make you guess. You know what I mean? And we'll compare your guesses to the real thing.
Totally, 100%. That'd be funny.
All right, so now that we have
digressed,
completely offended any of our listeners that may shop at Walmart regularly. You know who you are. I won't judge you. You're okay. But we talked about the nutrition and our observations on the type of things the Walmart shoppers buy. And that made me that makes me think about or that turns my attention to a topic that's been on my mind a lot the last few days, and that is superfoods. I've been thinking about superfoods a lot.
Not the preparation H.
I was not thinking about preparation H, actually. I really, believe it or not, I seldom think about preparation H. It's almost never on my mind.
I don't really think about it either.
That's fucking weird, isn't it?
I guess you only think about it if you need it.
Only if your butthole is in fuego.
That's effective advertising, though.
That is effective advertising.
I'm sorry, keep interrupting you. Preparation H.
You are a derailing motherfucker, you know that. I mentioned on this podcast a few times, but you are a derailing motherfucker. You are a fucking derailing motherfucker. You derail everything. God damn. Superfoods, motherfucker. Keep on the topic. Okay. Fucking superfoods have been on my brain lately, but they're off my brain now because I'm just like, what the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck? You're the nutritionist here. You're the registered dietitian nutritionist. Why the fuck you want to talk about preparation H? I'm the comedian. You want to talk about preparation H, and I'm the one wanting to talk about superfoods. What the fuck? Okay. Somebody edit out the gunshot when I blow myself away.
And I'm sober.
I know.
We are both sober.
I know. You're too delirious to record tonight. Nobody should have put you near a mic tonight. You're fucking delirious. I gotta steer you through the fucking Walmart. Anyway.
Okay.
What the fuck
Superfoods.
do you think about superfoods? Is there such a thing in your mind as a superfood?
I think it's all media derived. I think it's all media hype. I think it's crap.
All media hype.
I think it's total bullshit.
Okay. So do you think there's an underlying concept to superfoods that might be helpful to some people?
I definitely think that when they're quote unquote labeling the new food as a superfood, they're always selecting nutrient dense foods. Mm-hmm. There are often foods that are absolutely packed with vitamins, minerals, fiber, phytochemicals, antioxidants, probably other compounds that aren't.
That was a good list you just rattled off. That was good.
Thank you. There's other compounds that we just don't even know that are present in foods, which is why we should be eating whole foods. But I mean, it's just irritating because they label it and they make it, and I've had conversations with people who aren't in the nutrition field, but they're bandwagon. Is that what it is?
Bandwagon.
Bandwagon jumpers, where they jump on every single new thing that the media publishes that Live Strong or Huffington Post say is the next healthy thing. And they're like, oh, I got to eat this. They think that it's going to be the cure to all diseases, that it's going to be their fountain of youth, and that, oh, if I eat this, then everything else is okay, or I should only eat this because they say this is really good for you. It's just so fucking irritating.
Yeah. So let me give you some examples of some superfoods that have been, I guess, written about in the media and advertised as such. Things like blueberries, goji berry, other berries, cocoa beans, bananas, avocado, kale, green tea, chia seeds. That's what you mean by a moment ago. You said most of these foods that are touted as superfoods are whole foods. They're typically nutritious. I mean, they're packed with nutrients that are good for us. They very seldom contain things that are bad for us, like trans fats or added sodiums and added sugars and stuff. So you think that maybe in general the idea of a superfood might be a little bit helpful?
I think they could be helpful in terms of they're bringing awareness to the nutritional value of these foods.
It's definitely a marketing term. Like you said, there's the USDA and the European, what is it called? It's called the European Food Safety Authority. So the European Food Safety Authority, as well as the USDA, do not have any formal recognition for a superfood. There's no formal definition that a food can meet in order to be called a superfood. It's not a recognized term in terms of like nutrition science or dietetics. It's 100% marketing. But you think as far as marketing goes, that might not be, it's not a terrible thing, because like you said, it highlights these nutrient-dense foods.
I mean, I think the issue to me is that they do it in such a way that people think that's the one single food they have to start eating.
Okay.
And I think it can
Yes.
result in some confusion because then they're I think it makes them think they need to, everything will be fixed or better, cure cancer if they eat this one food, and then next month they start promoting a different food. So they're like, oh, well, they said this was healthy. Is this better? So it just seems like they they don't justify why they're more heavily weighting that food right now. Like my sister, I love her, but she is a bandwagon jumper.
Love you, Ange.
I don't know if she knows that, but that's what I think. And they were there was a lot of hype about avocado. I still think there is.
Yeah.
But she was under the impression that you could just eat an avocado, get all the vitamins, minerals, nutrients, macros that you need, and you'd be good, that you could just eat avocado.
But your sister doesn't eat a very poor diet either. She doesn't eat a lot of fast food. She doesn't eat a lot of like highly processed stuff. She's one of these like kind of crunchy granola moms that she buys a lot of good, healthy, whole natural. I mean, they've got their own hens. They got their own eggs. They do a lot of good, whole, kind of natural foods. So I don't know if she's a good example of someone who consumes a very poor diet and then adds in a superfood, hoping that superfood will counterbalance the negative effects of a lot of processed foods, a lot of fast foods and stuff, because that is one of the, as I was doing my research on superfoods, that is one of the drawbacks to superfoods that was mentioned by, I don't remember the lady's name, but she's a PhD and a registered and licensed dietitian. So she's a good authority on the matter, and she was saying that the problem, I guess, with superfoods, much like what you were saying a moment ago, is if people think that that's all they need, and they think that the superfood will help save them from eating fast food for lunch every day, for instance, that those two things don't balance out. The superfood might be good, but it's not undoing the bad. Or if you're sedentary, you can't eat superfoods and be fit. You still need to do some exercise and balance your physical activity with your consumption. So I think that was a wonderful point. It's like you researched this.
I didn't though.
It's like you have
it's like
you
I'm an
work in this.
RD.
Yeah, it's like you work in this field every day.
Yeah, and I think there's just multiple groups. There's different scenarios, or there's different kind of demographics for people who subscribe to the superfood. You know, there might be those folks who have a shitty diet and then they select the single superfoods and they feel better about their choices because they're incorporating that one food, which, I mean, admittedly, it's not bad they're incorporating it. It's just likely not going to have the outcome that they're hoping for because they're eating fucked up everywhere else. But then I think there's the other side where somebody's eating healthy and then they latch onto this superfood like it's the end-all, be-all. And this month it's one flavor, next month is another flavor. And they so 100% without, or I should say to a fault, they just believe this food is just so healthy. And that's where my sister falls in. Like when she said the avocado, I can eat the avocado and that's all, because it's so loaded with, like, that's so false.
If I may, it seems like you're objecting to the lack of critical thinking that many people apply or don't apply to this particular issue. You're not objecting to blueberries or avocado or bananas or kale. But what you are objecting to is the idea that people will simply jump onto a trend. They will begin to follow this new trend, and there's not a fundamental difference in food trends versus fashion or music or anything else. I mean, trends are trends, and people follow what's kind of new and fancy and seems awesome. So you would like to see people, it seems to me at least, that you would like to see people be a little bit more critical in their analysis. If I may also add that from all of the reading that I have done, as well as my education, in addition, the superfood designation seems to me like it's a semi-useful appeal for a particular food containing higher concentration or increased completeness of, maybe even a greater bioavailability of the things that you mentioned, the nutrients like vitamins, minerals, the antioxidants, fiber, polyphenols, and stuff like that. But it seems like they're helpful. Like they're really not going to do you any harm. But you also need to apply some critical thinking and consume the superfood. If you like avocado, consume avocado, but do so in moderation and with other.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what you would say, a well-balanced and rounded eating plan, right?
Yeah, because you can't get all of your nutrition from a single item. You just can't do it.
No, you can't.
Like you need to, if you eat the same food every day, every meal, you're only getting the nutrition in that single food, and then you're eventually going to result in deficits and issues, yada, yada, yada. That's why I so 100% oppose the just eat an avocado.
Yeah.
That's just
I mean,
false.
I think if you think that you're going to skip breakfast, you're going to have a bag of chips at lunch, and then you're going to go home and have a little avocado, and that's going to solve your problems, then you're probably not. You're not going to get what you're paying for out of that. But the reason why this topic even sprang to my mind is that I heard someone on the radio. It was a radio personality who is a semi-self-designated nutrition expert. This individual does not hold any nutrition-related degrees, so there's no licensure in place. But if I can kind of summarize the gist of what they were saying, the person said, pick one. He was being very critical of superfoods in general and the superfood designation, more so than even you and I are being now. But he said, pick one. He said, superfoods are bullshit. If you pick one superfood and eat nothing but that, see how that goes for you. But I also thought that was kind of bullshit too, because even somebody like your sister, for example, who will say, oh, I can eat the avocado and I can get my nutrients. She doesn't just eat avocado. I mean, I've seen her pantry. We've been over there. I mean, she does have a wide variety of good, whole, natural, healthy foods. So I don't feel like very many people, I think it's a very small minority of people who are saying, oh, well, okay, blueberry is a superfood that's hot this week. I'm going to eat nothing but blueberry. So I just don't see that happening very, very much. I still think the superfood might be a kind of useful designation for folks, even if they do need to keep in mind what you said.
Yeah. And I guess my last thought on it is I think it just serves to confuse people a little bit, where foods are labeled as really, really good and foods are labeled as really, really bad. And to me, in my perspective, all foods can fit in.
Yeah.
There are some more nutrient-dense foods, some less nutrient-dense foods, which to me speaks on the frequency of eating them. If it's a very nutrient-dense food, great. That should likely be a little heavier hitter.
Yeah.
They're more calorie-dense, less nutrition. You should eat them less. But I feel like our society labels foods as, oh, this is it. This is a food that's really good. This is a food that's really bad, like gluten. You shouldn't eat this and blah, blah, blah. And I think it just results in consumers that are so fucking confused. It's like they're like a ping pong ball. They don't know which way to go.
That confusion also contributes to people finally just saying, fuck it. I'm not going to listen to these experts because they can't make up their damn minds.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing different stuff every time I open a website and I go read a news article about health. HuffPost says one thing, CNN says another. Fuck it. I'm just going to keep doing my Pop-Tarts and my blueberry muffins.
Which you made a good point. You said experts. I think that's what the issue is too, is the public doesn't know who the experts are. And so going to Huffington Post and all these bullshit resources, it's like you gotta always think of who is saying this information. What are their sources? What are their credentials? And I mean, so that to me is a big part of the issue. Is they're not looking to the experts about the topic. They're getting it from
I think it can even be hard
Some
for
editor.
a lay person, a general person of Walmart to even know which expert do I trust.
Yeah.
What letters behind the name signify. I think when you have a medical doctor and you call that person Dr. So-and-so, I think that weighs a lot. That
Totally.
means something to people, so they trust a medical doctor. But
100%.
there's room for confusion there too, because a lot of chiropractors go by the doctor designation, and I want to take medical advice from a medical doctor. I want to take medical advice from my endocrinologist, Dr. Davidson, DO. I want that guy's advice, and if I were not as well educated in the field, then maybe I would take the advice of a chiropractor over an endocrinologist, because they both have doctor in their name, right? And that's even harder for somebody who's a registered dietitian, because we don't call them doctors despite their licensure. They don't have a moniker, a prefix on their name that then signifies that this is a learned person and this is an authority on the matter. So I think maybe that also is kind of difficult when you're trying to decide, well, who's the expert? Who do I listen to?
Yeah, I think that's totally true.
And I think you also had a very good point. This is probably worthy of a topic on another day, because this will go another hour-long podcast. But I do want to mention briefly, and we'll tease this for another podcast, but you were very right in saying that people want to label something as good or something as bad. They want these kind of easy ways of looking at it. Never eat this, always eat this, because that's kind of black and white. It's an easy tip to remember. But what you said, which is that anything can be incorporated into a well-balanced diet and a eating pattern. I often say eating pattern instead of diet, because people think I'm talking about like a fad diet. But any well-balanced eating pattern can fit things in that you shouldn't eat a lot of, but you can eat a little bit of. But I think it's just very easy for people, and it's honestly, it's too reductionist to appeal to me to say, well, carbohydrate is bad. You shouldn't eat any carbohydrate. I don't think anybody gets fat off of wild rice or quinoa, and those are carbohydrates that contain starch. I don't see a lot of Okinawans running around the southern Japanese islands that are very obese, and they eat plenty of damn rice. So I think it's overly reductionist to say that carbohydrate is bad, but it's easy for people, right? So
Yeah.
I'll leave that there. I'll let you have a final word, but
Okay.
I'll leave that there, because we could talk about that. That's a
Yes,
whole nother topic for
100%.
another nutrition hour.
And I was just going to say the current research, and I've been to several recent talks and about obesity and the complexity of and the persistence of, and how do we treat it. And what keeps coming up is, at the end of the day, one of the biggest things is the calorie deficit. So the fact that, so you can be on a low carb diet, the keto diet, you could be on a low fat diet, yada, yada. At the end of 1 year, the rate of weight loss was the same. And what really mattered was creating a calorie deficit, whichever way you could cut your calories. And exercise isn't labeled as being as significant of a factor until like year 2 in maintenance.
Yeah.
But it was really a lot of what people eat is the biggest factors, and regardless of which way you get there.
Yeah.
But which I find interesting, and some people can go low carb and they can find it very effective. But you're right, this could be a long conversation, so I'll keep it short. But like low carb, my issue with it, or just any of these drastic, is if you can't maintain it, don't fucking do it. Don't even start, because as soon as you stop, you're going to gain the weight back.
Yeah, and we know people who have lost a lot of weight doing a ketogenic diet, following a very low carb eating pattern, and then as soon as the breadsticks come back into the picture, the weight comes back as well. So
it's a hard way to maintain.
It's a tough way to sustain. Yeah, I mean, it's a good way to lose some weight over the course of 3 months, but over the course of 3 years and longer for these long-term outcomes, it is a lot tougher to see. At any rate, I think we could have another nutrition discussion in the near future, since we're both experts with
a little passionate.
Yeah, we're passionate about the topic, but then we've both got degrees. We've both been to college. I'm still in college. We've we're educated, and so it's something that I think that we probably should talk about from time to time here on this podcast. But I think maybe for another one in the future, we could probably touch on the demonization of a nutrient, like a food is bad.
It's a good way to call
versus
it.
a behavior, you know.
Yeah.
At any rate,
Set the record straight.
yeah. One last shout out to my homeboys at #adulting and other bad ideas. That's another newish podcast that I've been listening to lately. Those guys are pretty cool dudes. I've been in touch with Mike on the Facebook and the Twitter. So I wanted to say, what's up, y'all? And I do believe that we will be having them on the show in the relatively near term as well. So go check them out in addition to Off Color Discussions and We Need to Talk. I will appreciate everybody checking out vetscount.org. Check out the Beards, Beers, and Battle Scars fundraiser. We're trying to raise some money for these motherfuckers. And we will be at the Summer Sizzler. So if you find yourself in New England on August 4th, you can come visit us at Able Ebenezer. That is where the Beards, Beers, and Battle Scars fundraiser Summer Sizzler will be held with the Bearded Sinners helping to sponsor that. Honey? Take a bite out of that ass.
So I'm feeling no sure deluxe. I ain't antisocial. I just think you suck.
Just get it all out. Just
Trying.
get it all out.
Trying
Do you
to
need me
push
to come
it
over?
out.
I'll come over here and squeeze you. I'll push it all out both ends.
I think I feel better now.
Okay, good.
Baby, I got bigger plans. But I'm down if you could recommend a couple friends. Tell them they can meet the legend right before his